Philip Enriquez here once again with Say What You Like podcast. And today I'm bringing to you the Week 7 NFL Power Rankings. So let's get into it. We'll go from 10 to 1. We'll save the suspense. Number 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, I had a problem keeping these Pittsburgh Steelers on the top 10. Sure, their record justifies it. They're 4-2. Double the amount of wins that they have losses. But what really bothers me is the two losses that they have were both blowouts. They lost by 31 points to the Philadelphia Eagles, and just this last Sunday they lost by 15 points to the Miami Dolphins? Very hard to keep a team on the top 10 when you're losing by such a wide margin. But nonetheless, they hang on to stay in the top 10. At number 9, I have the Washington Redskins. And being a Cowboys fan, it's getting harder to argue that this win streak of theirs is a fluke. And two of these wins were NFC East opponents. They beat the Giants and the Eagles. So they're definitely in the thick of things in the NFC East race, right behind the Cowboys. They're right on their heels. And coming in at number 8, the Oakland Raiders, who are coming off a very disappointing 26-10 loss to the division rival Kansas City Chiefs. But what made the defeat extra bitter was the fact that the Raiders were in sole possession of first place in the AFC West, due to the fact that the Denver Broncos dropped the Thursday night football game to the San Diego Chargers. But there's good news, Raider Nation, and that's due to the fact that the Raiders will be playing their next two games against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before going on to play their division rival Denver Broncos, most likely for first place in the AFC West. And that brings me to the next team on the list, who started the season off at 0-2 but have now won 4 consecutive games, the Buffalo Bills. One of the major headlines of the week will be LaShawn McCoy sticking it to his old coach Chip Kelly. Talk about a vendetta. 140 yards later and 45 points later, I think it's safe to say who won that battle. Up next on the list, another team coming off a disappointing loss to a division rival, the world champion Denver Broncos. And I saw Denver struggling in this game. I called that earlier in the week, going up against the San Diego Chargers, a team that had nothing to lose, without their head coach. It's understandable why they lost that game. But in the end, I just have to question, how much longer is this defense going to have to cover for the offense? When Trevor Siemian is throwing for 50 attempts, that's not the winning formula that won Denver a Super Bowl last year. And now, coming in at our 4th and 5th spots, we have the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. I placed the Seattle Seahawks slightly above the Atlanta Falcons, not only because they defeated them 26-24 this past weekend, but they're more dominant on the line of scrimmage. Still, take nothing away from the number 5 team, as Matt Ryan is still an MVP candidate. He's still tearing up the league with that Atlanta offense. He had 300 yards on that Seattle defense and 3 touchdowns. Julio Jones, 140-plus receiving yards. It's still an offense to be reckoned with. However, like I said, you have to give the edge to the team that, dominates the run game, dominates the line of scrimmage. Those are always the teams that you can count on to be in playoff contention. Just like my number 3 team, the Dallas Cowboys. And what can I say about my Cowboys that Skip Bayless hasn't already said? No, but on a serious tip, I'm placing them above the Seattle Seahawks, and I know that might be controversial in a few people's eyes, but you got to look at it like this, because despite the rash of injuries to the key players, there's nothing but positives to name off going into the bye. I mean, they're on a 5-game winning streak. Orlando Scandrick's going to come back after the bye. Des Bryant's coming back after the bye. Romo's expected back after the bye. There's more rest for Tyron Smith. All the injured players are getting healthy. And when your biggest problem is which quarterback to start, Tony Romo or Dak Prescott, it's a no-lose situation. And coming in at number 2, the New England Patriots. And let me tell you more about what you probably already know. Tom Brady continues to dominate like he does every week in his career just about. Just dominated the Bengals defense for 376 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rob Gronkowski's still a beast, 162 yards and a touchdown. And that New England offense is not going to slow down. Not until Tom Brady gets his wish and has Roger Goodell handing him that next Lombardi trophy. And that takes me to my number 1 team in this Week 7 NFL Power Rankings, and that's the Minnesota Vikings. And this team is probably one of the most intriguing teams, in my opinion. It's so intriguing to me because this is the opponent I look forward to facing as a Dallas Cowboys fan later on in the season. I mean, this defense is amazing. The defense leads the NFL in sacks per game. They have almost 4 sacks a game, and their sack yardage in total is negative 145. That means they've cost their opponents 145 yards based on sack yardage alone. I mean, this defense knows how to get after the quarterback. They're going up against Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday, a rookie quarterback. I want to see what he can do. I want to see what that defense can do to that rookie quarterback. That's going to let me know the difference between Dak and Carson Wentz. It's going to finally put that conversation to rest, without a doubt. But it's just a matter of how efficient this offense will continue to be. Sam Bradford hasn't played lights out, but he's efficient. And when you have a defense like that backing you up, that's going to keep you at number 1 on my power rankings for a long time, or at least until you face the Cowboys. So there you have it. That just about wraps up my Week 7 NFL Power Rankings. Go ahead and leave a comment if you agree, disagree, think I'm crazy, think I'm nuts, think I'm a genius. Let me know. See you next time.